The airplane crash that shocked the world. Air travel connects the world. Every day, thousands of airplanes cross the skies, carrying people to new cities, new opportunities, and sometimes new lives. Most of these flights end quietly. Passengers land safely, collect their bags, and walk away without ever thinking about how incredible it is that a machine weighing hundreds of tons can fly through the air. But sometimes, something goes terribly wrong, and when it does, the entire world watches. This is the story of an airplane crash that shocked the world. It was supposed to be a routine international flight. The aircraft was large, modern, and operated by an experienced airline known for its safety standards. On board were more than 200 passengers. Families traveling together, tourists excited about their vacations, business travelers preparing for meetings, and a highly trained crew responsible for getting everyone safely to their destination. The plane departed just after sunset. The weather was calm, and early reports from the cockpit indicated that the flight was completely normal. The aircraft climbed steadily to cruising altitude. Inside the cabin, passengers settled into their seats. Some watched movies, some slept. Others simply looked out the window at the endless darkness below. For the first hour, nothing seemed unusual. But then, something changed. Air traffic control noticed the plane had slightly changed its course. At first, it wasn't alarming. Small adjustments happen all the time. But moments later, the aircraft suddenly began to lose altitude. Controllers immediately attempted to contact the pilots. No response. Again they called, still nothing. On radar screens, the aircraft continued descending, faster than expected. Inside the cockpit, alarms were likely sounding. But whatever was happening, the crew was unable to recover the situation. Passengers inside the cabin may have felt the sudden drop. Seatbelt signs would have illuminated. Flight attendants would have tried to remain calm. But within minutes, the situation had become uncontrollable. Then, without warning, the radar signal disappeared. The airplane had vanished. Search and rescue operations began almost immediately. Ships, helicopters, and aircraft were sent to the last known location. Hours later, debris was discovered floating in the ocean. Pieces of the aircraft, seat cushions, fragments of luggage. The world quickly realized the terrible truth: the plane had crashed. News spread across television, radio, and the internet within minutes. Families gathered around screens waiting for updates. Airports filled with anxious relatives hoping for good news. But the news never came. Investigators from multiple countries launched an extensive investigation. They searched for the aircraft's black boxes, which could reveal what had happened in the final moments. Weeks later, the flight recorders were finally recovered. The data told a tragic story. A combination of technical failure and confusion inside the cockpit had created a deadly chain of events. The aircraft entered a dangerous condition that required immediate correction. But in the darkness and under extreme pressure, the pilots misinterpreted the situation. By the time they realized what was happening, it was already too late. The crash changed aviation forever. Airlines around the world reviewed their training procedures. Aircraft manufacturers improved warning systems and cockpit displays. New safety rules were introduced to prevent similar accidents. Because every tragedy in aviation carries an important lesson. A lesson written in loss, but meant to protect the future. Today, millions of flights still cross the skies safely every year. But the memory of that crash remains. A reminder of how quickly things can change thousands of feet above the earth, and how one flight, one moment, can shock the entire world.